I'm Sophia, 32 years old, a single mom, and I work hard as a marketing executive to provide for my daughter, Lily. She's 8 and the center of my world. But recently, our lives were turned upside down. The doctor's words still echo in my head. Miss Thompson, I'm afraid Lily has a rare heart condition. She'll need surgery. Urgently. Every night since, I lie awake, replaying those words, struggling to balance work, taking care of Lily, and now planning for her life-saving surgery. Just when I thought things couldn't get more overwhelming, my sister Olivia called for a family meeting. We gathered at our parents' house. Mom, Dad, Olivia, my younger brother Jake, and me. Olivia practically bounced with excitement, flashing her engagement ring. "I have amazing news," she squealed. "We're having a destination wedding in Bali." As everyone gasped in awe, my stomach tightened. I knew what was coming next. It's happening next month, and I need everyone there. No excuses. I took a deep breath. "Liv, I'm so happy for you, but Lily's surgery is next month. I can't leave her." The room fell silent, then came the onslaught. "Sophia, this is your sister's special day," Mom scolded. Dad chimed in. "Can't you reschedule the surgery?" "Yeah, Soph, don't be so selfish," Jake added, not even looking at me. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Selfish. I was talking about my daughter's life. Olivia's face twisted into a pout. "You always do this, Sophia. You always try to steal my spotlight." Memories rushed back. Olivia's recitals overshadowing my soccer games, her graduation celebrated more extravagantly than mine, her achievements always prioritized. I fought back tears. "That's not fair, Liv. You know that's not true." "Well, if you really cared about this family, you'd find a way to be there," Olivia snapped. I glanced around, hoping for some support, but all I saw were disappointed faces. No one met my gaze. I stood up, my voice trembling. "I'm sorry, but I can't abandon Lily when she needs me most." The weight of isolation settled on me as I left the house. How could they ask me to choose between my family and my child's life? The unfairness of it all made my head spin. That night, as I tucked Lily into bed, her small hand found mine. "Mommy, are you okay? You look sad." I forced a smile. "I'm fine, sweetheart, just thinking about grown-up stuff." Her eyes widened. "Is it about my heart?" "Don't worry about that, honey," I said, kissing her forehead. "Mommy's going to take care of everything." As I turned off the light, closing her door, I leaned against the wall, torn between my love for my daughter and the crushing expectations of my family. The following weeks blurred into long nights of work, endless spreadsheets, and every extra shift I could take. Every penny counted. One evening, after Lily had fallen asleep, I decided to call my parents, hoping they'd cooled off and would understand. "Hey Mom, I was hoping we could talk about Lily's surgery." "Sophia, now's not a good time," Mom said, her tone clipped. "We're busy with wedding preparations." I swallowed my frustration. "I understand, but this is important. Remember that joint account we set up for emergencies? I was thinking of using it for Lily's medical expenses." There was a long pause. "Well, about that," my stomach dropped as I logged into the banking app. The account was empty. "What happened to the money?" I asked, my voice shaking. Dad came on the line. "Sophia, don't overreact. We had some unexpected expenses for Olivia's wedding." "You use our emergency fund for a wedding?" I could barely believe what I was hearing. "It's not just any wedding," Mom interjected. "It's your sister's special day. You're being selfish again, Sophia." Selfish. My daughter needed life-saving surgery. I hung up, the sting of their betrayal fresh in my mind. Later that week, I ran into Jake at the grocery store. "Hey Soph, how are you holding up?" For a moment, I saw the brother I used to know. "It's tough, Jake. I could really use some support." He shifted uncomfortably. "Look, I get it. But maybe you should just suck it up and come to the wedding. It would make things easier for everyone." "Easier for everyone except Lily and me, you mean?" I said bitterly. Jake's face hardened. "Don't put this on me, Sophia. You're the one causing all this drama." He walked away, and I felt the last thread of hope snap. The day before they were set to leave for Bali, I stopped by my parents' house to drop off some misplaced mail. As I approached the door, I overheard Olivia's voice. "I just don't understand why she's being so difficult. It's like she's trying to ruin my wedding on purpose." Now, Mom soothed. "We know how Sophia can be. always needing to be the center of attention. Exactly. Olivia chimed in, her voice full of frustration. I bet Lily isn't even that sick. Sophie's probably exaggerating to get sympathy. I stood frozen outside the door, unable to move as they tore me apart. The people who were supposed to love me unconditionally were dismissing my daughter's life like it was nothing more than an inconvenience. The next morning, I watched from my window as they loaded their cars, laughing and excited for their trip. Not one of them looked back at our house. Not one of them came to say goodbye. I sank to the floor, sobs shaking my body. How could they do this? How could they abandon us when we needed them the most? Mommy? Lily's small voice came from behind me. Why are you crying? I quickly wiped my tears and forced a smile. It's nothing, sweetie. Mommy's just a little tired. I hugged her close, making a silent vow to myself. We would get through this, just the two of us. I would never let anyone hurt my little girl the way they had hurt us. One sleepless night, an idea popped into my head. I'd seen stories of people raising money online for medical expenses. Maybe, just maybe. The next day, I set up a crowdfunding page. My hands trembled as I typed out our story, laying bare the raw truth of our situation. I hit post and held my breath. At first, nothing happened. Then, ping, a donation. Then another, and another. My phone buzzed. It was Sarah, a coworker. Sophia, I just saw your post. I had no idea what you were going through. We're all chipping in at the office, she said. I was overwhelmed. People I barely knew were reaching out, offering help and kind words. The next day at work, my boss, Rachel, called me into her office. My heart sank. Was this about all the overtime I had been working? Sophia, why didn't you tell me how bad things were? Rachel's eyes were filled with concern. I didn't want to bring my personal problems to work, I mumbled. Nonsense. We're family here, she said, handing me an envelope. It's an advance on your salary, and I'm giving you flexible hours. Your priority right now is Lily. I couldn't hold back the tears. Thank you, Rachel. I don't know what to say. As I left her office, I overheard two colleagues whispering. Can you believe what Sophia's family did? Choosing a wedding over her daughter's surgery. Disgusting. A part of me felt vindicated, but mostly, I just felt sad. Word of our situation spread, and soon the local news reached out to share our story. Before I knew it, I was sitting in front of a camera, telling the whole city what we'd been through. And your family? The reporter asked, her eyes wide with disbelief. They're not helping at all. I swallowed hard. No, they made their choice. The story aired that night, and my phone exploded with messages of support. Donations poured in even faster. At Lily's next hospital visit, we met Elena, a child life specialist. She had a warmth that instantly put Lily at ease. You know, Sophia, Elena said one day as we watched Lily play, you're doing an amazing job. Not everyone could handle this with such grace. I laughed bitterly. Grace? I feel like I'm barely holding it together. Elena squeezed my hand. That's the thing about strength. It's not about never falling apart. It's about picking yourself up every time you do. I threw myself into the final preparations for the surgery, work, hospital visits, last-minute fundraising. I was running on pure adrenaline. Finally, the day arrived. I held Lily's hand as they wheeled her into surgery, my heart pounding. I love you, Mommy, she whispered. I love you too, baby, so much. The wait was agonizing. Every minute felt like an eternity, but finally the doctor emerged with a smile. The surgery was a success. Lily's going to be just fine. Relief washed over me like a tidal wave. I sobbed, I laughed, and I thanked every force I could think of. Later, as I sat by Lily's bedside, watching her sleep peacefully, my phone buzzed. It was Jake. Hey, Soph. How did the surgery go? We just got back from Bali and heard about everything. I'm so sorry. I turned off the phone without replying. They had made their choice, and now I was making mine. As I looked at my brave little girl, I felt a mix of emotions, relief, exhaustion, and yes, anger at my family. But mostly, I felt hope. We had made it through the worst, and we had done it without them. The following weeks were filled with hospital visits, recovery milestones, and the realization that Lily and I were stronger than I had ever imagined. Each day, I watched my little fighter grow stronger. We spent hours playing games, reading stories, and talking. It felt like we were getting to know each other all over again. While Lily napped, I checked my emails. One from Rachel caught my eye. Sophia, your performance these past months has been exceptional. We'd like to offer you a promotion to Senior Marketing Manager. You've more than earned it. I could hardly believe it. After everything we've been through, things were finally starting to look up. But life had other plans. My phone buzzed with a news alert. Local family chooses destination wedding over child's life-saving surgery. My stomach dropped as I read on. Someone had leaked our story to the media, and it had gone viral. Olivia's wedding photos were all over social media, but not in the way she'd imagined. The comments were brutal. How could they abandon their granddaughter like that? What kind of mother chooses a beach vacation over her niece's life? I felt a twisted sense of satisfaction, but guilt followed swiftly. I didn't want this. A few days later, Elena called. Sophia, have you seen the news? Your father's company is under investigation for misuse of resources. I hadn't, but a quick search confirmed it. Dad had apparently used company funds for their Bali trip. Then came the text from Jake. Soph, can we talk? I'm so sorry about everything. I stared at the message for a long time before replying. I'm glad you're sorry, Jake, but I need time. Please respect that. As for Mom, the stress took its toll. She was hospitalized for exhaustion and high blood pressure. Meanwhile, Lily and I were moving forward. Lily, how would you feel about moving to a new house? I asked one evening. Her eyes lit up. Can I have a purple room? I laughed. Absolutely. On moving day, as we stood in front of our new home, my phone buzzed again. It was Rachel. Sophia, you won't believe it. We just landed that big account we were hoping for. I grinned. That's fantastic. We should celebrate. Absolutely. Bring Lily. Elena is coming too. As I hung up, a wave of gratitude washed over me. We had been through hell, but we had come out stronger. We had a new home, new friends, and a new life ahead of us. Now, I have a question for you. If you were in Sophia's position, would you ever forgive your family for choosing a wedding over your child's life-saving surgery? Or do you believe some betrayals are unforgivable, no matter who commits them? Share your thoughts in the comments below.